Welcome to the Business Finance Bulletin, episode 130. Welcome again to this week's Business Finance Bulletin with me, Rob Warlow from Business Loan Services. In this week's bulletin, business advice, where are business owners going for it? Looking at progress, a relatively new alternative source of finance. Also, a cheeky and light-hearted look at late payments and Brexit. Well, a teeny-weeny mention of Brexit after featuring quite heavily in the last two bulletins. At one time or another, most businesses, particularly startups, have needed business advice, in particular around finance. It's quite a specialised subject. But where are business owners going for their advice? Well, that has been a question posed by the Association of Accounting Technicians. And they found out that of the small business owners they'd surveyed, 19% of them said that they were getting their financial advice from the likes of Google on the internet. Only 22% going to financial advisors such as accountants and people like ourselves. So where else are they going? Well, 11% of them saying they are just going to general business websites and 10% of them from their network. Now, for general business growth, those kind of sources are great, but as we know, when it comes to finance, the market is moving very fast. There are always new players and financiers on the market, and there are also little tricks and hints about where you should be getting the finance that perhaps the likes of the internet site won't give you. So if you're in that position of scratching your head when it comes to raising finance, don't forget, you know where to come. You pick up the phone to the likes of us at Business Loan Services, drop us an email, info@businessloanservices.co.uk, or be one of the 22% that go along to the people like your accountant who really understand what is going on. So don't be the business owner who relies on second-hand information out there on the internet. It doesn't necessarily serve you in the best way. When it comes to presenting payment options to your customers, it has never been easier. There are now a number of options out there that you can present to your customers in order to help them make payments to you much easier. And if you're an online business, one of the most used facilities is PayPal. Very popular among small business owners. Now, as a result of this, PayPal now have a very good understanding of the type and volume of business that you're doing. And as a result, they realized that they could now become another alternative source of finance. And that's what they did in November 2014. They launched the PayPal Working Capital Loan Program here in the UK. How it works is, well, because they see the amount of transactions going through your PayPal account on a weekly and daily basis, they have a very good idea of what your cash flow looks like. And so with the working capital program, they will lend you up to £60,000 maximum, and repayment then comes by taking a fixed percentage of each transaction that comes through the account. Now that's very good because it means that your loan repayment matches your cash flow. In other words, if you don't take any sales on a particular day, well, there's no payment to make. So it's a much more cash flow friendly way of borrowing money. PayPal have just announced that so far since they've launched, they've helped 14,000 businesses here in the UK and lent a total of £185 million. So not an insignificant sum. So if you are a user of PayPal and you want to know if you can access that working capital program, just log into your account and hunt out for working capital loan, and there you'll find whether you'll be eligible. A great alternative source of finance that has popped up to help many business owners with their cash flow problems. In a previous bulletin, episode 129, I shared findings from a survey carried out by Xero, the online accounting software provider, and when they looked at late payments. For example, the survey found that 52% of business owners said they suffer from late payments. Well, carrying on with this theme, Xero have just released a video which is a spoof of the Adele song Chasing Pavements, called Chasing Payments. They've changed the lyrics, and it's all about really the frustrations that business owners have when it comes to late payment. It's voiced by a number of small business owners who do suffer from this problem. I put a link to that video in the box below. Go and check it out. It's a really good laugh. But more importantly, they've also put a website together called chasingpayments.com, which is a collection of tips, advice, and support around making sure you don't get caught by late payments. Check that out and check out the video as well. Quite good fun. Well, to close this week's bulletin, I don't suppose I can get away without mentioning the Brexit. Now, the last two bulletins have focused quite heavily on the fallout of Brexit, but something's caught my eye which is a little bit more positive. It's a brief survey carried out by Capify, which is an alternative finance provider, and rather cheeringly, they found out that of the 1,000 business owners they surveyed, 75% of them said they felt that Brexit was going to have no impact on their business. So that's great news. So it doesn't all have to be doom and gloom. In fact, 50% of them said they would see no impact when it would come to raising finance. But admittedly, just over 40% of them said, well, it is going to have an impact, they think. But hey, those are probably the firms that may have struggled pre-EU referendum. So overall, it's a picture of business as usual. And that's the message that we need to be getting out to everybody. The opportunities are still there. Don't close up shop. Go out and look for those opportunities that are there. Well, that's it for this bulletin. Thanks very much as ever for being with me. If you did enjoy it, remember, please give it a share. If you're watching the video version, don't forget we've got the podcast version so you can listen to this at your leisure. It's available on iTunes, Stitcher, and also SoundCloud. Just go along and search for Business Finance Bulletin. And if you are listening on the podcast version, don't forget we've got the video version. Just go along to YouTube and search for Rob Warlow. Well, thanks very much for being with me. Look forward to being with you in the next episode. Have a great, successful and profitable week. Bye-bye now.